phrases like that.
And lo and behold, when I wanted to do it,
Leading to horrible emotional outpourings.
I rang you yesterday and was sort of like, I actually remembered to ring you to sort of say, look, I can't make it tonight.
I don't tend to trust
now I'm here, on a blank and stuff, and I'm going to have to deal with that.
So at the moment I would say, I don't know, I haven't got an answer. What does freedom of expression mean?
Another lie. I mean, the amount of lies I spend, but the amount of lies I tell because of my time keeping is just...
Well, I would have thought it's kind of changeable on...
and it's not the fact that I'm telling lies, because
it seems to be, my views seem to be changeable on
it's still
the things that I'm doing. And at the moment I tend to see freedom of expression in quite a negative.
What am I going to say to them? I told them that my car's playing up on me, I'm just going to have a look. That was 20 minutes ago. They're going to be calling me down the radio saying, so I'm going to have to say, well, I went to a garage and I got chatting to this bloke and all the rest of it. Anyway, it's gone off the point. But yeah, sense of achievement is, finding the time to do what I want, which then means that I must be, because I want to do it, I'm expressing myself.
It's such a long time
whether it's to someone or not, I'm doing it. And that's what's important to me.
I suppose writing,
otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. Or otherwise I'd be trying to do it.
But my most
running around,
uninhibited freedom of
getting
expression.
lost in, God, what time is it? Oh shit, I said I was going to do that. Oh Christ, I've got my so-and-so.
Next.
Do you think that, that's great, doing a couple of favourites there. Fade out, fade down. Yeah, just sort of introduce you form that flexibility thing. How do you feel?
It was pretty good. It's quite
Well,
nice.
I mean, it's kind of, if you're using like a phrase like freedom of expression, it's got capital letters and
I did, didn't I? Do you know what I mean? It always creeps in.
marks around it, so automatically you think, God, how do I express myself? Most of the time you're unaware of how you're expressing yourself anyway. So, I guess that, I express myself clearest when I'm teaching, which wouldn't be seen as freedom of expression particularly, or when I'm at home with her, which may not be regarded as freedom of expression. In terms of a feeling like I've got something to express and then finding a way to express it, I don't do a great deal of it.
Well, what we look for really, honestly,
writing
it's interesting that sometimes you see it in capital, you just want an honest response.
Yeah.
You just want to read it any way you can.
Yeah.
That's why we ask the question, because I think with other questions it'd be much harder to get. People would be so much more cagey, and rightly so,
Yeah. Because it's
much possible just asking them for their opinion.
Excellent. I really didn't want to smoke on
Next sound check comes through. Okay, busy.
Alright.
But what we'd like to know is what's freedom of expression to you?
Freedom of expression. That you have the capacity to express yourself as you feel is right. Losing plot.
Is that what you want to say?
I'm lost. It's a bit of a big sort of big thing to sort of like.
I'd like if you want to say anything else. Do you think it's something, I suppose, that you're telling yourself
Freedom of expression, something that you determine yourself. How much freedom you've got is granted. How much freedom you've actually got to express yourself. Because, I don't know, I don't think that you haven't necessarily got a huge amount of freedom to express yourself as you want to a lot of the time. Because there are certain restrictions that prevent you from doing that. Like from all over the place, you know, socially, whatever. Well, so kind of like now, I'm not free to say what I want. Like my mind says to me, and that places restrictions on my freedom of expression, because I don't know whether what I'm saying, like this situation is a situation where you're going to be like suspicious in some way, because like I don't know how you're going to use what I'm saying, so my free expression could be like used in another way by you. So it's not going to be me freely expressing something. It's going to be, so that makes me suspicious about me being free with expressing whatever I want to say. But it's like the thing that there's always some restriction from somewhere that stops you from being able to just, you know, say whatever you want to say or do whatever you want to do, because you've always got something else that's there. I mean, if you express, then it's like a two-way thing, because you can't just sit there and like express something to yourself. You express it to something, because it's a communication thing. And then whatever you express it to, put some restriction on what you're expressing, because you like adjust what you're saying according to like the circumstance that it's coming out in. Generally, no. Sometimes I think I do. But, I don't know, if I sat and thought about it, most of the time, I wouldn't be free. I wouldn't be expressing myself freely, because I'd be saying something that was kind of, censored in some way by my head, so that it would be appropriate to the situation that I was in, kind of thing. I don't know, but I was going to say something just a minute ago. It's completely gone.
Spent 6 months researching everything, reading as much as I could, watching documentaries, looking at photographs, and then I got to meet Stephen about 4 or 5 days before we started filming, and I suffered from verbal diarrhea, and I basically just kind of spewed forth information about him to him, and he's like, yeah dude, I know, I'm him.
Well, this movie for me is really a love story. It's an emotional story that you're telling, and I feel like Jane is such a phenomenal woman in her own right. You know, no one knows anything about her, but it was about capturing her essence. And it was about trying to show that complication, that she loved him and celebrated him, but I think sometimes she felt that the kind of support and commitment she had given him hadn't been returned.
Do you have a favorite love story?
Is the right word at a time. Freedom of expression is the right to produce, publish, broadcast, generate and distribute to other people any material which you personally feel you want to, and which you personally feel you are doing in a way, in such a way that you are not entering into any kind of bad faith with other people unless it's deliberate. So freedom of expression for me is about being able to produce kind of anything you want, so long as you feel kind of honest about it yourself.
What about rights? Do you feel that what rights? You say it's like rights. Freedom of expression is right. See freedom of expression being like some political prerogative or something.
Yeah, when I say right, I don't mean a kind of given right. By right, I mean I guess a kind of moral ideal. But in that sense, kind of what a government allows you to do. A right is something given to you usually by a state. So by right, I don't kind of mean something that you kind of born with. I guess by right, in the sense I'm using it, I don't mean a right. I mean a permission. Yeah, freedom of expression is a permission.
Who grants the permission?
A state or the state either through like laws or through kind of covert means.
Or whatever, you have to make it yourself. So they're all like
by state I don't mean
squirreling away in their shed and creating these things. So yeah, some of them, the last night Bill, who made this fantastic discovery about hippos, he had a hydrophone attached to two sticks that's wrapped around a hamster run, yeah, it's a hamster run at the end. It was a hamster run. There's another scientist one last night was using a pair of his mother-in-law's tights stretched over a very important piece of kit that costs £500,000 that normally tests vibrations on jumbo jets. So they're all sort of cobbled together from all different things. And the vervet monkeys, I was using a garden ornament because there have been no leopards in Mombasa for 20 years, so I had to go and get this garden ornament to show them. And then when I was doing the hawk, I had a broken kite. Actually broke halfway through the experiment. I was thinking this isn't going to work, but it still did work. So
you know what occurs to me? You're talking about a lot of exotic animals. There'll be people at home now thinking, well, I talk to my dog or cat every day, and they understand every word, and I can understand that. I can understand noises that they make too. Is that a version of the same thing? Because some people say they absolutely understand. Dogs bark for a certain thing, or cats meow, or they sound different. They can have a dialogue.
Well, we didn't do pets in this, so we just did about animals speaking to each other. But I do know that dogs, for instance, and the reason why they're man's best friend is because we have a really fantastic ability to read each other's emotions and communication. So whether you are
right, I've got one question for you. What does freedom of expression mean to you? Take the time.
Is this as an artist or as a citizen? As an individual. I think it's a notion about distribution. Really, it's about being able to distribute ideas or materials or any notion just out into the culture at large, really.
You see it when I suppose you said And first of all, personally, how does it make you feel that being expressed? Does it make you feel happy? Does it make you feel sad? Or do you feel that it's alive? What do you feel? Your reaction?
I think, for a start, the reason why I kind of differentiated that, whether as an artist or as a citizen or whatever, is often used as a term around citizenship, and it's like that there being a flip side to this idea of freedom of expression in a democracy, and that flip side being responsibility and some moral responsibility. And it's like I have certain doubts about expressing morality of any sort in art.
So when you hear the phrase, you don't immediately think you're free to do what you want to do?
That's still not in our culture particularly, no. There are various examples of artworks or artists or whatever who would get persecuted for following their right to express what they wanted, what they honestly believed, or what they truthfully wanted to represent or show or put out into the culture.